Hi, everybody. I'm here with Thibault Martin, and we are talking about recruiter enablement. We're talking about RecOps as well. And so, first of all, Thibault, good to see you. Thank you for joining me today. Give us an introduction to you and your background.
Hello, everyone. My name is Thibault. I'm a recruiting leader with 20 years or so, over 20 years of experience in recruitment. I've led talent acquisition efforts at some of the biggest names in the tech industry, including Microsoft, my last job, and have a passion for finding and nurturing top talent. So this is really me out there. It's all about the candidate engagement. Currently, I'm on the lookout for my next exciting challenge, and I'm dedicated to sharing insight and strategies with fellow recruiters and TA leaders, from candidate engagement, as I mentioned, to talent pipelining, and I believe in authentic, bold, and relatable in everything I do. So I'm very excited to dive into today's discussion and share some fresh perspective with you all.
Wonderful. And I can see that you're committed to sharing your expertise because I've seen you doing it on LinkedIn recently. And one of the posts that one of the discussions that you initiated recently was, why are we not talking enough about RecOps?
Yes.
I'd love to know what prompted you to start this conversation.
Just I would say, basic thinking. I've been doing RecOps, not officially, with the title RecOps, but in all my jobs, I kept improving processes, systems to impact not only the TA organization but the whole business. Really, how to impact business through TA, and RecOps. If you just take the main definition about RecOps, it's all about making recruiting operation better, how to run the same organization. It's all the I would say the quote, doing more with less, more or less. it's RecOps, but it's how you can optimize the whole TA organization to deliver better, to make it faster, to make it more efficient, and everything is possible thanks to RecOps. So it's either efficiency, strategy, and technology, all in the mix of RecOps. and my I would say thought was, this is really a great methodology and framework behind, but why aren't we talking more about it? As really, when you think about it, it's, I would say, the conclusion is undeniable. RecOps makes the dream reality. So why aren't we talking more about it?
Yeah, I think this is really important. I think you're right. It's probably not given the prominence it needs at this point. And every business function is under pressure to do more with less. And so if I had a team of 50 people who were filling jobs, and that was what I had, that was my whole recruitment team, I would absolutely be taking 5 of those people out of those jobs and putting them into RecOps, because the overall 50 will be able to do a lot more effectively and productively if 5 people are focused on that. To continue with the subject of RecOps, like, what are the 2 or 3 things, like broad categories of things, that TA leaders should really be thinking about in terms of, is it about examining processes? Is it about technology? Is it about, what are the main things we should be looking at?
Given the current context, the candidate market is very tense. Over the last couple of years, it has been very difficult for everyone. I guess my main focus will be on candidate experience, and through, I would say, the main goal of candidate experience, you can deal with loads of aspects. So should that be how to improve, your whole candidate funnel. So identify bottlenecks to up your game in sourcing candidate, in interviewing, in really making the funnel optimized according to your recruitment plan. But also, I will look into boosting my recruitment team and switching, from what I really I communicate a lot of time about how can we move from the transactional aspect of recruiters, sometimes being really qualified as, okay, it's administrative, you push CV pusher, etc. You just exaggerate the things, but it's really something that many business people believe, and how to ramp up the team from transactional to being really a recruiting business partner. And this is all possible when you give those recruiters the right tools, the right organization, make them I would say able to change the statu quo with data insights. So really being business partner, and not only in a very reactive transactional aspect of the discipline.
Yeah, absolutely. Okay. Let's talk about enablement, because enablement was something which featured in your discussion. Somebody brought it up, and then I got tagged into your discussion, and I found the whole thread really, really interesting. What's enablement to you?
Okay, so maybe just going backwards, for me, RecOps and TA enablement, those are really what I call two close friends. And I see TA enablement as the beginning of the recruiting journey. It's all about setting a recruiting team for success. Before they start hiring. So basically, you provide them with the tools, the training, content sometimes also they need to effectively engage with candidates and hire talent. So it can include creating, as I mentioned, content could be, for example, crafting persona. So I'm sure you all heard about, ICP, so ideal candidate profile, crafting outreach sequencing, interviewing guide, as an example, or providing training and coaching to the TAs. So it's really a broad discipline, but it's all about making your team, I would say, or giving the right tools for them to keep delivering value through the whole process.
So I think what I've heard you say is that RecOps is the bigger picture kind of strategic things. Maybe enablement is the everyday tactical things.
Yeah, what I shared was
Not
really
quite.
It's more or less what I shared. It's really it's a mean to a goal. So the mean will be really team enablement, being here to being, I would say, providing the tools and the systems. So and the whole goal will be what I shared in the beginning. So RecOps is really focused on the day-to-day management and optimization of the hiring process. So TA enablement is you focus on your recruiters, not on the. So obviously, yes, you are going to focus on processes, but here you identify the problems and you are training them to deliver against these objectives. You are giving them the right, when I say content, it could be help them to, for example, to write better job description, provide interview guide to hiring managers, but also to the TA if they are not, I would say, they don't have the right training. So it's a whole concept, I guess. But for me, there is really a difference between RecOps and TA enablement.
Got it. Okay. I agree entirely with everything you just said. And I think content is very, very important, especially marketing related content, because we expect our recruiters to be great marketers, but we don't hire them because of their marketing skills. We hire them because they're great recruiters and they're great at moving people through a process and achieving influence. And so I really believe that if we can put the right content assets at really easy reach so that it's only 2 clicks and they've got what they need, that's a big win. I have, from the thousands of hours now of research I've done into this subject, I've found that recruiters are typically spending too long every day clicking around trying to find things, going onto Teams saying, hey, does anybody know where I can find whatever it might be? Is this your experience? Is this an area we can improve?
Yeah, definitely. I will say in most of my roles, I was also deeply involved into branding, the branding aspect. And we all know about employer branding. We all know about personal branding. So what is the link, or maybe is there really an in between for TA folks to I would say to participate to this whole experience? I will call it, more the shall we find ambassador, to communicate differently, and we are not asking recruiters to, I would say, to publish or to write a LinkedIn post or to create something from scratch. It's all about being yourself, being authentic on when you discuss with candidates, and it's all linked to what I mentioned in the beginning, the candidate experience. So make it really smooth and remove the friction, from all the interaction with candidate and candidates have with your company. And for this branding part, it's all the same. So when you are going to engage with candidates, make it relevant for them, about them, adding value. When you need to communicate externally, maybe have a library of ready to write content, or I would say also within the ambassador of the brand, not only the recruiters, but also recruiters may help the hiring manager to also promote themselves, promote their teams. Should this be in the job advertisement? Should it be also in LinkedIn posts? They may write the hiring manager to promote their company and their requirements, their roles to fill. So it's, I would say, yes, it's a good aspect, and the branding one is quite key, especially as recruiters or sourcer, or in general the TA team. They are really the window of your brand, as in a sales cycle. When you buy a product, when you see an ad in the street when you're just walking, recruiters, they are really at the forefront. Their main engagement with candidate, and people may not be candidate yet. They may be thinking, okay, so I want to buy, I would say, a Coke or Pepsi or whatsoever. But when they see the brand, so this is maybe when a recruiter is going to engage with them. So send them an email or whatever. So that's why I say branding. It's a whole concept. It's not only personal branding, employer branding. It's loads of aspects mixing all together. I'm not sure it makes sense.
Yeah, no, it does. It does. Wonderful. I can tell, it's such a big subject, this. There's a lot involved, and I can tell that, it's a subject you know a lot about. So if I was looking for a recruiting leader, I'd be looking at you, because you can clearly bring a lot to the development of a talent acquisition team. So Thibault, il faut mon plaisir de présenter à vous Thibault. C'était génial. Thank you very much.
You're welcome.
Looking forward to seeing you again.
Great. Thank you very much, Adam.